Welcome to the Freedom and Prosperity Podcast with your host, Desi Arnaz. Join us as we explore the journeys of top achievers who share strategies and stories about their success and living life on their own terms. Get ready to be inspired.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Desi Arnaz and welcome to the Freedom and Prosperity Podcast. I'm excited because today I have a very special guest. Two very special guests with me here. They're a couple, and I guess you can call them one, right? The two of you guys are one, right? And their story, I think you guys are going to find very inspirational and motivational, and I'm really pleased to have them here today. Here on the Freedom and Prosperity Podcast, we just like to showcase for people. We like to share information with people that you can use to make your life better, and that people can use to just to be encouraged. That's really what I'm trying to do with our podcast, is to be encouraging to people, because life is good here on this earth. And I love the fact that you guys are my guests here today. So I'm going to introduce you guys to Michelle and Ric Campos. They are here from Central California, isn't it? Central.
Yeah.
Not too far from San Francisco is what I was told.
Yeah.
The Campos, they have an interesting story. The Campos have two businesses. One is called Swims, and I'll let them tell you what that is in just a minute. And then they have the Campos Family Vineyards as well. So, and that sounds like a fun business too. So I'm excited to hear your story. So hello, Ric, and hello, Michelle. Welcome.
Oh, thank you, Desi. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, excited to be on with you today. We love telling our story and encouraging people.
I'll start off with our company's SWIMS, which stands for Stormwater Inspection and Maintenance Services. We started that company close to 27 years ago, and I was a construction superintendent for a large commercial contractor, and I was building a project in Pleasanton, California, a big retail center, and the county used my project as a test site for all the new stormwater regulations that were happening right then. Okay. And it was basically called the Clean Water Act. That's when it all started. And we had to install these huge underground interceptors that actually clean the storm water when it goes down the storm drain. Because these big vaults, it's like an oil water separator, and it takes out all the garbage, the sediment, and a lot of the oils and hydrocarbons. So I learned, actually tried to get those vaults value engineered off my project because there was so much money. But we had to put them in. It was a new law, so we put them in. And we also had to do a new program on a construction site, was called erosion control, and put a stormwater pollution prevention plan together. They called it a SWIP plan. So I got educated on all of it, and we did it. We finished the project. And when I went to go finish the project, the city inspector has a list of items that have to be checked off, right? Like your plumbing, your electrical. And they had a item that had to be checked off, that the owners had to have a maintenance program for these underground stormwater devices. And I said, okay. So I called the owners and told them. And they said, no problem, Ric. Well, a week went by and they never got back with me. So I said, what's going on? They said, nobody does it, Ric. They go, why don't you do it? You're the expert. You put them in. And I said, there's no way. I love my job. I was a general superintendent. And I go, I'm working 12 hours a day as it is. There's no way. And so my boss calls me up and says, Ric, I really want you to do this, because the owner that we built this shopping center for was a friend of his. And he goes, Ric, he's in trouble and he needs your help. I said, okay, for you, Leon. His name was Leon Wentz. I said, sure, I'll do it. So we took on the project, and I put a maintenance program together for these tanks. And then the opportunities started happening. So Michelle took over our sales department and our master bedroom we set up, because all the rooms were filled with our kids. By the way, we have 3 grown kids, 7 grandchildren. And so that's such a blessing.
Yeah, our youngest daughter was very young. So Ric said, I need you to help me figure this out. And he had me looking at projects and bidding on maintenance plans. And in the first year, we sold $1 million worth of maintenance contracts.
Wow. From your house.
From our house.
Yeah.
Oh, so
I always tell people with $500 and a pickup truck and a desk in our master bedroom, we started a company.
Yeah. He got his dad out of retirement. We had a neighbor that was unemployed. And Ric worked 2 jobs for
4 years.
For 4 or 5 years until
Wow.
we could afford to launch our business on our own.
And at the same time, like 4 years later, I had to go to my boss's office and said, "Hey, I'm leaving, and it's your fault."
Yeah, he encouraged you to start your own business.
Yeah.
Ric never wanted to be an entrepreneur. He never thought about it. He was a company guy, you know,
Sure.
and so interesting how God birthed that in his heart, and now he loves being an entrepreneur.
It was a gift. But I think the Lord instilled that gift in me from day one, and I just really never recognized it. And the same year that we started our business was the same year that I was baptized. So I was 40 years old. I was born and raised Catholic, really didn't have a personal relationship with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
And then close to 30 years ago now, I accepted the Lord 26 years ago.
Yeah.
And I think that's an integral part of our business. And then from there, when our business started to grow, and we had some trials and tribulations, and we had a business partner that we weren't equally yoked with.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I didn't even know what that meant.
Right.
Until I started getting into the Word, and we realized, how 2 oxen are yoked together, and you have to be on the same page. Yeah. And so went through a lawsuit that was really tough. And he had a horrible alcohol issue. And so we finally got that done. And from that day on, we finished the court case, and I came home and we fell on our knees and said, "Lord, it's all yours." And we just gave it to him. From that point on, our business went vertical.
Are you kidding?
Every single year, we had a minimum of 10 to 15% growth.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. I remember Ric saying, "I don't know how I'm going to pay the settlement. I don't know how we're going to do it." And then you always say,
I had to write a check for 3 years to my ex-partner, and it never was even a blimp. And when I made that when I did settle, I said I didn't know how I was going to do it, but the Lord had other plans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wow. So you let go and let God, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Here's another cool story. So then from there, I put all our managers, and Michelle and I, we go through a training called Business by the Book. It's an old Christian manual on how you run your business by the book. Larry Burkett put it out.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I never realized about tithing from your business. So we started tithing from our business, and then it even took the next level job.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That is, what a wonderful, wonderful story.
Yeah.
It takes faith, right? Because when you are in the moment, it's like, I can't really afford that. How can where's that money going to come from if I do that?
Yeah.
Well,
that's so true. Awesome. So true. And the one thing Ric always said for all the years we've had swims is, I would never sell my business. I would never, never, never do it. And we say now, never say never.
Why do you say that?
Well, because a couple years ago, our Christian accountant said, "Ric, never say never. If an offer comes, entertain it, walk it through, see what happens." And we did that a few times. And then this company approached us, and we just knew that we knew this was the company. Yeah. We were so aligned. We were so concerned about our employees, and they are a people, employee loving business. And we knew that we took our business as far as we could, and that it needed to go to the next level. And so we made this business decision, and it was not easy for our employees. And
at the same time, we were trying to put a succession plan together for our family. Right. And we really couldn't see how that would work, because we have our oldest son lives in Portugal, and he's in the ministry. Our oldest daughter is in Boise, and our youngest daughter is in Southern California. And so we just didn't know how that would work. And then our CPA also told us that 85% of the businesses that are handed down to the family don't work.
They don't survive, right?
They don't survive, right?
Yeah.
So with this opportunity, with us being acquired, we're going to be able to take care of our family for a long time.
Fantastic.
And I'm still part of the business. And the biggest thing for us was our employees.
Mhm.
And none of our employees, it's almost been a year now, none of our employees, some left on their own, but nobody was fired. And there's just so many opportunities that we couldn't do. We were really just pigeonholed in California, and now they're taking us nationwide.
Oh boy.
So
your little mustard seed of an idea is now becoming a major oak tree, huh?
Right.
And that led to the meeting of you, Desi, and your partner Bill, that we know and love, and he helped us take some of this earnings that we received from the sale of the business and putting it into a revocable trust, irrevocable trust.
Mm-hmm.
And then you did a podcast a while ago that I heard on Dynasty Trust. So we're in the process of setting up a Dynasty Trust that we're so excited about.
That is exciting. I'm, as you know, I'm completely sold on Dynasty Trust, 100%. And what they do for your family. I've seen what ours has done for our family to bring us closer together. And, you talked about succession earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
That Dynasty Trust gives you the ability to kind of have some influence over that succession for years, even centuries into the future.
That's
right.
Which is really, really nice.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
Really happy to see that you guys have decided to embrace that.
Yeah.
So then we took another crazy step, and then this was all directed by God. 9 years ago, we were on the board of our church, and we were looking for property. We were trying to build a church, like most churches do. We were leasing, and the Lord gave me a vision. Well, before that, I'll say that the Lord gave me a vision to buy this winery. It was about 5 miles from our house. And we were acquainted with the owners. We had a company Christmas party here. It was a gorgeous 44-acre property, 36 acres of grapes, has an event center on it, has a lighted baseball field in the back. And the Lord, I go, Lord, why would you want me to buy this vineyard? Because I don't know anything about farming. I don't know anything about winemaking. And he said, no, we need to do this for our community and for our church.
Yeah.
So we prayed about it, of course. Michelle thought we were crazy.
I cried.
Yeah. We just finished our dream house.
I said, what? We're moving? Yeah. But what an amazing opportunity. And there's a big event center, which at that time was the previous owner's classic car garage. It was beautiful. And so Rick thought, well, we can just do a church here. And he went to the county with our pastor and with the attorney. And the county said, no, you can't call it a church. You can't. It's not zoned for that. Mm-hmm. But it is an event center. And Rick said, what can we do in an event center? And he said, whatever you want. And he goes, okay, we can have church in the event center. So we upgraded everything. We had to put in new fire tanks, get everything up to code. And really, this place is where our community comes to gather.
Wow.
All through the summer, every Friday night, we have Wine Down Friday. We have about 500 families in our front yard. We have live music. We've done worship nights. We've done revival nights. We've done weddings, celebrations. It's really, most churches have a hard time getting people to come in. Mm-hmm. But the Lord just spoon feeds us people, and we just it's our harvest field here. We just talk to people about God. It's amazing.
It's a lot easier to get people to come to have a little glass of wine than it is to come to church.
Oh yeah, for sure. They'll show up for the wine.
Yeah. So
we have a motto here. We say we turn stormwater into wine.
Yeah.
I love it. You guys I tell you what, I can see God's hand at work in your lives and in your businesses, and this is wonderful. That's why I wanted you to come on here, and I really appreciate you guys accepting my invitation to come on here and share this story. This is fantastic.
It's fun. Can I tell you something real quick? We were on this property, obviously, when COVID happened, right? And everybody shut down. We had to lay off our employees. There was nothing happening. And we had a couple of teacher friends, retired teachers, that came to us and said, we maybe have 10 or 20 kids that need to be homeschooled. Can we just use your event center during the day? And we said, of course, that would be amazing. Well, then we brainstormed with them. What would they call this little school? And we said, what about Vineyard Academy? You're on a vineyard.
Yes.
Well, that school turned into 120 children.
Are you kidding me?
During COVID.
So a Christian school from K through 8 started here at the vineyard.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it went, and it's gone viral. And we're on the board of directors of that school. It's 5 years old now.
Yeah. 260 children. The school was just able to buy a property. There's plans on building a high school. And so, this is what God had planned for this. We didn't know.
Wow.
So yes. You just say yes. If you have the doors open and there's peace and you say yes, God will do the rest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What a story. Holy smokes.
It's been fun.
Yeah. And so now you guys are on the board of a Christian school too, and it's called Vineyard Academy.
Vineyard Academy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. And maybe you can take that nationwide too at some point, because I'll tell you what, we need new schools.
Yeah.
For our children.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Well, thank you. I'm learning new things about you guys every time we speak.
Do we have time for another story?
Yes, of course.
All right. I've got a story for you.
Uh-oh, I don't know where he's going.
Michelle goes, uh-oh.
Oh, I know where he's going. Yeah, we could tell stories all day long.
So hopefully you can see that.
I do.
So this is one of our wines. So we have 7 wines named after our 7 grandchildren. And this is one of them. And the way this wine was birthed was my wife took my 10-year-old granddaughter to see Temple Grandin. Temple Grandin is an aficionado on autism.
Okay.
Our granddaughter has autism.
Mm-hmm.
After the conference, our granddaughter said to my wife, she said, Nana, Temple, the way she thinks is the same way I think. Her brain works like my brain.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Michelle said, we need to get her to the vineyard and do a fundraiser. So out of the blue, this lady's famous. There's a movie about her. We reached out to her. We ended up having a big fundraiser for autism. And then my 10-year-old granddaughter says, Papa, let's make a wine. And this is when we first bought the winery. So this is the very first wine I made. And she created this label. She's 10 years old. She did this label and she goes, Papa, let's make it a give back wine. So for every bottle we sell, we give back to autism.
Wow. Wow.
Then that started a whole series. We have a series of give back wines. I have one. My best friend passed away from ALS. We have a wine called Lou in honor of Lou Gehrig.
Yeah.
We have another one called Forget Me Not, and we give back to dementia.
Oh my goodness. And what's this one called?
This one's called Gigi's Blend.
Yeah, her name
is
Gigi.
That's Gigi. That's my granddaughter.
She's 18 now.
Oh my God.
We've been able to give thousands and thousands of dollars back to the Temple Grandin Foundation. And Temple Grandin she is probably almost 80 years old now. She is a professor at Colorado State University. She is an amazing woman. How she came here to us 3 times. The autism community came out. We sold out, 400 tickets within a matter of a day.
Wow.
Because that community needs help.
Yes.
And so, once again, we had no clue what God had in store.
Just take steps of faith, right?
If anybody wants to find out about the winery, go to camposfamilyvineyards.com. And we have all kinds of videos and the different things that we support out here in our community.
And Campos is Campos, correct?
Yeah.
Camposfamilyvineyard.com.
You got it.
Yeah.
And they can buy some give back wine.
You got it.
Ship it all around the country.
We sure do.
Yep.
We also do olive oil. We planted the Vineyard Academy kids helped us plant 1,500 olive trees. I'm looking at them out my backyard here.
Gosh.
Yeah. So we do olive oil also, which we had no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Someone had told you you're going to be in the olive oil business and in the wine business when you were just doing stormwater and you're like, I'm just putting some tanks in here, for water.
Right.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Wow, what a wonderful story. Well, I do appreciate you guys sharing that story with me. And I do have a question for you guys. If you were going to make a recommendation to someone, um, to the audience, people that are watching or listening, of maybe a good book to read,
Mm.
what would you recommend? I'd like to ask that of my guest.
Well, I mentioned it earlier for me in the business realm, and you really want to get your team on board on how to run your business biblically. It's called a book called Doing Business by the Book by Larry Burkett.
Yeah.
I wrote it down.
It's kind of
Yes.
it's kind of old school, but it's really good. Some good values. It's
Yeah.
who's the big Christian money guy that always talks?
Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, Dave
John
Ramsey. It's
Maxwell.
kind of like an old school Dave Ramsey. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
excellent.
The other thing too, Desi, is we have learned to surround ourselves with a team that has the giftings we don't have. Nobody knows how to do it all, right?
Love that.
So
I love that. Yeah.
one of our salesmen here, we say Victor, he is our evangelist. I mean, he just loves people, loves to talk about God, loves to do sales. You have
Yeah.
people that are more harmonizers or pastors. Maybe that's your HR person, so we've learned to do build our team that way with their giftings.
The fivefold, right? And we see where they go, and the apostles, the ones with the apostolic gift could really see the bigger picture,
Mhm.
and then you have the teachers, right? And the teachers, then they could really train your staff, and then you have the evangelists or great salesmen.
Yeah. So it's been fun. And we have a wonderful Christian business coach that's worked with us for years now. Thankful. We're so thankful for her. Sometimes we call her like, help. Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Another great book. We do a lot of stuff with John Maxwell stuff with leadership training, and it's about team building. So I used to be a football coach back in the day, and I really cut my teeth on the football field as far as bringing a team together, because you can't do it by yourself. Yeah. There's no way.
Yeah. Yeah.
And wouldn't be any fun anyways.
Yeah, it wouldn't be. And it's so nice to bring other people along. And, as you guys know, in my business, I have family members that are actively involved in the business. Not all of my family, but the ones that have the interest and the gift for what they do. I learned, like you guys, I'm 71 now. I've learned, like you guys, that you've got to put people where they will blossom.
Yeah.
We all have gifts. I think Michelle just said that, right? We all have gifts. There's a book that I read recently. It's called Who, Not How. And they talk a lot about that. Who, not how.
Who, not how.
Yeah, and it's really about doing what you are good at and then surrounding yourself with other people that are better at things than you are. Even though you might just be okay with it, but it's not your gift, and surrounding yourself with people that are working in their gifted space, everybody flourishes.
True.
Yeah.
Everybody wins.
Yeah, everybody wins. So
Here's
that's what Oh, okay. So that's what that's what I've tried to do in my own life, and it's really been a real blessing too, to get a chance to work with my family. I know that you mentioned that you guys don't work with your family, right?
Well, at one time they all worked, but then about 5 years ago, they've all scattered throughout the world.
Okay. Our daughter was our general manager, and she even did general managing from Idaho. Our youngest daughter in SoCal worked in the tasting room. Our son and daughter-in-law worked, but they had to go follow their dreams.
Yes. Yes.
But they were in the trenches. Our son even helped Rick open up the Southern California offices down there years ago. So.
Oh, beautiful. I didn't know you guys had offices down here. I'm in San Diego, Southern California.
Oh, we have one in San Juan.
Okay. Yeah, that's beautiful.
So,
well, you know what, guys, if there's anything else that you guys want to share right now as I wrap this up and wind this up, you can feel free to do that. And I want to
I was just say thank you for doing this, Desi, because this is really important for business people to just have different ideas about their finances, and then like I said, with you and what you've done for us, we've invested in the Everly May Fund, which has been a blessing. And the thing is, it's all about, the wiser we are with our money, the better we're going to be able to build the kingdom.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I always say that our highest calling in life is to serve, and that we are all blessed to be a blessing.
Yes. I love it.
I'll leave you with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what better way to close the show.
We'll close it on a high note.
So I want to thank you two again for being my guest here today. I can't wait to share this episode with our listeners and to see it go worldwide and hopefully change some lives, right?
Amen.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you, Desi.
Thanks, Desi.
Thank you too, Rick, Michelle. God bless you. And God bless you guys for watching our show today. We do appreciate you guys, and be paying attention for the next episode. It'll be launching out very soon. The Freedom and Prosperity Podcast. Share it, by the way, with your friends and your family. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Freedom and Prosperity Podcast with Desi Arnaz. Want to share your success story with our audience? Head over to freedomandprosperitypodcast.com/guest and apply to be our next guest.